Hey everyone, Mike here, Skinny Boy Barbecue. Today I've got an exciting one for you. We are going to be doing Battle of the Barbecues. Kamado Joe versus the Traeger. Let's get started. On the left, weighing in at something like 230 kilograms. When you move this bad boy into your garden, it feels like it's 600 kilograms. Purely because you're panicking, you're going to drop it, break it, crack it, whatever. On the left side, we have the Kamado Joe, Big Joe 3. On the right side, weighing in at, I don't remember, let's say 80 kilograms. With a digital display and the wood pellet hopper, is the Traeger Timberline 1300. So we've met the contestants. We have Kamado Joe Big Joe 3 and the Traeger Timberline 1300. And what better test is brisket test. So we've got my 2 Canadian briskets, again from Mark over at Bob's Family Butchers in Hatfield. So thanks again for a great delivery. We're going to get these trimmed up really quick. We're going to get them seasoned with kosher salt, black pepper, and maybe a little steak seasoning on top of it. I don't know, I haven't really planned that far ahead. But let's get these trimmed, let's get these seasoned. Kamado Joe is already lit up. We're just getting that up to temp. It's going to take a little bit longer. 225, 230 is where I want to start these at. We're going to have the Timberline on the super smoke function, and then we're going to stick with the Kamado Joe Big Block Charcoal with some cherry, I like a bit of cherry, and hickory, a couple of chunks there. And for the Timberline, we're going to be using the Traeger's signature pellets. So let's get these trimmed, let's get these ready to go on the grill. I tell you, there's one good thing about having a newborn baby. Well, she's not newborn anymore, she's like, I think she's 10, 11 weeks today, 11 weeks today, Jesus. I almost have a 3-month-old. But the beauty about having them is when they wake up for their feed, they wake up. And you can be awake nice and early to do things like this. So what we're going to do, guys, is just equal parts. Got some kosher salt in here. And I'm just going to do some equal parts of kosher salt, black pepper. So equal parts of both. You can do whatever you want. This is just how I start mine. Yeah, it's about equal. I'm going to give it a good shake. Get that mixed up. Now, for me, I'm going to cook this today. Well, I say today. I did a test with brisket, fat side up, fat side down. And I know people say, you know, there's an argument. Everyone's got an argument. Do you do fat side up? Do you do fat side down? Everyone has their personal preference. To me, do you know what? I actually prefer fat side up. Let the fat come back down into the meat. But we're going to do fat side up first. We're just going to give this a nice, even coat. Now we're going to be testing today the difference between the two. I'm going to be using the meter probes. I got that just a little while ago for my birthday. Thank you, wife. So we'll be testing out the meter probes. We're going to be looking at this for colour, flavour. I want to see what the smoke ring's like, the difference between the two. And obviously, taste. And then I'm gonna have to do a lot of extra cooking. We're gonna be doing some chili, we're gonna do some lasagna. So, might even try a brisket shepherd's pie or cottage pie. Kind of like that idea. So we've flipped this over and we're now gonna go meat side, nice good coat. When you're doing your rub, I like to go nice and high. I know a lot of people do. It just seems to give it a bit more of an even application. Get the sides. And then I want to get a bit of a sweet barbecue flavour. So we know we've got the signature pellets for the Traeger. We've got the cherry wood. I just want to come back, and this, I like using some barbecue sauce because it can't barbecue rubs, because it just sets off the colour nicely. So we're just going to give this a nice little coat. And I'm only doing this, as you can see, on the meat side. So there we have it. All seasoned. We're going to let this sit on the counter for 10-15 minutes while both the grills come up to temperature, and then we'll get them on. It's time for cooking. Always love trying to do this one-handed, no assistance. So we're going to carefully lift up said brisket, place it lovingly onto the Traeger. As you can see, the meat is in there. We'll get this closed down. And then le Kamado. I need to adjust that spring, the hinge on the back. I did it up too much, and now it won't stay. It just goes up. So let's get them down. That is it. Genteel grills. The challenge is now on. Who will cook the better brisket? So both of these have been going for 5.5 hours. We had a bit of a mishap with Traeger. My cat jumped down and pulled out the cable and turned the power off. So we kind of lagged for about 20 minutes. So yeah, a bit of a nightmare, but we're gonna have a little peek. Traeger looks amazing, colour's fantastic. And then we'll have a little peek at the Kamado. Oh, okay, so the brisket on the Kamado Joe has got a darker bark. But what we're going to do is we're going to get these off, get it wrapped up in some foil, and then get them back on the barbecue. So, ladies and gents, boys and girls, it's been 8.5 hours. Little mishap, I'll tell you about it later on, but it's been about 8.5 hours. We have the Kamado Joe wrapped up and in a couple of towels, and then we've got the Traeger wrapped up in a couple of towels. So couple of hours. It's 4 o'clock now, 6 p.m. We're gonna get these unwrapped and see what's happening. Finally, the wait is over, so let's get these bad boys, or girls, be whatever they want to be, as long as they're not vegetarian. Let's get these out and have a little look. So we'll start with Timberline. Don't know if you can see that yet. I'll bring the camera around in a second. And then we've got the Kamado. These spend a couple of hours in this foil and they still come out. I swear they get hotter as they go in. So just take these off. So we've got now Traeger on the right hand side, Timberline, Traeger on the right hand side, Kamado Joe on the left hand side. Let's get my other glove. And then you have to forgive the lighting in here. It is, it's getting dark outside again. It's just gone 6 o'clock. and it's raining, so let me get you over here. So as you can see from the Kamado Joe, perfect little jiggle. Awesome probe tender. And then you've got the Traeger over here. Now what you can see is, I did say that this cooked a little bit quicker. The bark is a lot darker on this one than it is on the Traeger. The light makes that one look almost black, but it's actually not. It's a toss-up between the two, to be honest. I think that one wins on colour. But let's get it open. Get this zoomed in on there. You don't want to see my face. You've had enough of that this video. So we'll start with the Kamado Joe. I'm actually going to slice it straight down the middle. First of all. So, beautifully juicy, just drooling out of there. We've got the smoke ring, which is nice. I'll turn this back round and we'll come and do another shot in a second. Same thing. Oh, the juice is just squirting out. So beautifully juicy again. Not so much of a smoke ring on this one. So you're gonna have to just give me 2 seconds. So there's a lot more intramuscular fat in the Traeger than there was the Kamado Joe, just kind of squirted everywhere, which is not a bad thing, except when it starts to leak over the board. So I must admit, when it comes to smoke ring, Kamado with a slow roller tips it over the edge slightly on the Kamado than it does the Traeger. We're going to cut a slice off now, and just nice pencil thickness on both. Pull the camera up a little bit so you guys can see. You're going to have to watch me eat now. Haha. Hopefully we're looking about here. So with the Kamado, pulls apart just like you'd expect. This is my favourite part. And then a little bit tougher on the Traeger. Let's try this one. This is external looks. If you like the darker bark, this is really hard. This one is going to go to Kamado Joe. The smoke ring, the flavour, the smokiness of it. So, looking back on the video and the cook itself, I realised that with the Traeger, I was out here a little while ago, the cats didn't pull the wire out. There's a problem with the connection where you plug the wire into the actual bottom of the Traeger. It's kind of losing power, so then it kind of switches off. And I don't think that was a fair comparison between the two. Even though the Traeger brisket probed tender, afterwards it was quite tough, a bit like if you're having a roast beef for a well done roast beef for Sunday dinner. So looking back on it, the Kamado did win on that one, but I also think with the Traeger side of things, with the power going off, it was off for nearly half an hour. I look back on my app where I got the notification on my phone, where it actually says to you, like, you know, when you get it and it says 28 minutes ago, whatever. Well, it was about half an hour, and then took another kind of 5-10 minutes to kind of get back up to temp. And by that point, the temperature of the brisket, you can see it on the meter app, plummets. So I don't think it was a fair test. But do you know what? Sometimes this happens, you know? You set yourself out there, you plan everything, you up just after you feed the baby, so 4 o'clock in the morning, you start everything in the dark, you finish everything almost in the dark. But hey, it's the game. I love it. It's why we do what we do. We share good, we share the bad, we share the ugly. Obviously the food is good. Sometimes it turns out bad, and I'm the ugly. So I was going to do a picanha tonight, because it's getting dark. I don't really want to film in the dark, so I'm going to wait to hold off on that one till tomorrow. Yeah, a little disappointed, I'm not going to lie. The Kamado one turned out fantastic. Clearly I'm going to keep that one for myself. Then the rest will send off to the in-laws. Sorry, in-laws. But no, it still tasted good. It was just, you know, it just wasn't what I know I can do. So the boys will have to try this again. See you next time.